Hey Noah. Hey Devin. Hey Devin. Hey Noah. It is June 23, 2025, and this is your friendly neighborhood stepdaddy, Fred Hophead, checking in with you both. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. It's a little hot. Damn hot. I mean, it ain't like freaking, you know, equator hot, but hot enough for my old ass. But I wanted to tell you a quick weird story that I don't think I've ever told you about. And this is just some crazy shit that I just wanted to tell somebody before I kick in or whatever. But this is a weird dad story. I got I got a shit ton of them. But this one will blow your hair back. But now my dad was a huge gun enthusiast. Enthusiast would be an understatement. It's one of the few things that I picked up that I couldn't let go of when we stopped talking. I still have been interested in antique firearms, reading about them, what have you. I may be no expert, but I know a little bit. But I mean, good or bad, he did teach me some things. Not a lot of it. That Let me get the damn kitty cat. She's being an asshole. I'll be right back. Hold on, puppy. I'm gonna let this damn kitty cat. Oh, hold on, kitty cat. I'm just air conditioning the computer room. Saves on money. And my social life is greatly reduced, so I've been doing pretty good, keeping it tight. But anyways, he taught me a lot of information. He taught me about gun safety. He taught me, well, he shot himself two times, I think. He shot himself once in the hand, and I forget where else he shot himself. He'd also shot somebody else one time in the army, but that's another story. Shot a dude trying to escape that was he was arrested, getting ready to be discharged. That's his tale. But anyways, so uh, he taught me all about reloading, case framing, neck sizing, uh, primer pocket cleaners, gas checks, copper gas checks when you're wanting to try to shoot lead ammo in a higher velocity rifle than really you should. Come on, cat. But anyways, so anyways, he taught me how to reload. Uh, I reloaded a lot of cartridges, and it got to where that people that he knew would bring a rifle just to let us shoot and play with. He had quite a reputation under the table. He never hung no sign, if you know what I'm talking about. He was a back in the woods guy, you know. There's people like me that'll say, well, I've done gunsmithing for 30 plus years or whatever, or been tinkering with guns. He would say nothing. Ow, why'd you bite me? What the hell? What's going on? If you're just gonna bite me, I don't I don't appreciate getting clawed in my lap and then why don't you lay down? You little shitty kitty. You're a shitty kitty. No, you're not crawling on that. Not after you bite me. So anyways, that was something that kind of led me to science. because there's a science behind reloading rifles. The powder that you pick, whether you want a slow burning powder or a fast burning powder, or uh, you know uh, how fast you're going to push a bullet, and you know uh, uh, things like that. Knowing that the back end of a lead bullet will start to actually melt and deteriorate in your barrel if you push it past, say, I don't know, 11, 1200 feet a second, 1300 feet a second. Lead can't take that. That's why jacketed bullets are out there, you know. And then back in the day, you could get gas checks for lead bullets. You put the little copper gas check on the back end of the bullet, and then you load it into a cartridge. And I mean, I could go on about this shit. I'm not going to bore you about reloading, but we we really strive to have accuracy. Now we had a 200-yard range. Most people laugh at that, but most people are shooting howitzers today with these 50 calibers, or I just don't see no need to shoot a 50 caliber anything really, um, any more than I need a Caterpillar tractor. Uh, but he would teach me about trying different brands of primers, trying different brands of bullets. Typically, people weren't looking for shooting; they were satisfied with shooting copper. And the only reason that my dad loaded for lead is because he loved spending no money. That man would hold on to a penny until Abe Lincoln screamed. He was so cheap. He kept a book on everything he spent on me. His daddy kept a book on every bit of money he spent on my dad. That's some strange shit. That's accounting gone. Anyways, all right. So we would, these people would let me come and reload cartridges and sight their guns in, get their scopes on right, get the mounts on right. It was so much fun. And I did it for nothing really. And these were his tight friends that would bring these guns. Well, Dad also had another addiction, that was hating crows. He hated crows with a passion. I believe I've told you about that before. But one thing I think I didn't tell y'all about is this was routine, okay? We would go through the countryside. Now, this is, kids don't do this at home shit, okay? But we would do what I could only tell you would be drive-bys on crows. This was, the reason I'm bringing this up is this is one of the few times that my dad could turn off his bullshit and almost be a human. It's just one of the few times. There weren't many. But I'd be the driver. I'm 16 years old. I just got my license. He's like, yeah, you drive me around while I shoot crows. And I was like, okay, you know. So we'd go all over the county. The county that you was brought up in. We'd just ride down all the roads. And he'd say, slow down, slow down. And he'd be out there with binoculars and stuff, looking in pastures, looking in, he never shot people's yards. I'm not going to paint him that way. I mean, he was a crazy, mean son of a bitch. That's for sure. And barely a human being, but he did not shoot in yards. Now, another thing is when he liked sharp shooting, with a bolt action, he had a little wooden block that he had covered with leather, and He had cut in the block. It was probably a 2x6. I would say it was probably a piece of 2x6, about that long, maybe inch. Yeah, inch and a half. Well, a finished board's inch and 3/4. But anyways, he'd saw a line down. He'd put leather on it, and he could set it. He could roll the window down and set the block on the window. Bam! And he'd shoot down in these pastures and everywhere. And I just never questioned shit when I was little. I mean, your daddy says go get this, that. We're gonna go do. I mean, believe me, he beat that into me pretty damn hard. That I wasn't to back talk him or say no to him or any of that shit. He was pretty disagreeable if you were disagreeable with him. But I never could understand for the life of me how he'd get away with it. He'd just get away with stuff. I'd be like, do you know whose pasture this is? Like, no, I don't really know whose it is. Now, the reason why this is interesting is the way he loaded his cartridges. He preferred a 22 250. I like the 22 250 cartridge. I think the 22 250 is a great varmint caliber. And I had a Ruger falling block in 22 250 that I played with that one quite a bit and got really good with shooting it. Had a nice scope on it. I miss that gun. I really do. I love a falling block. I just do. But anyways, he would load the 22 250 to where the bullet was probably going 5 times as fast, spinning round and round, as it was going forward. It was at such a critical spin, okay? And I don't know the science names for all this, okay? Um, Gun people, please feel free to cut me to pieces. It's been a while, so I'm sure there's some new name like FUD or I don't know, your boomstick or whatever. But anyways, the bullet was traveling it was so unstable at that speed. If the bullet hit a leaf, the whole bullet would just fragment to pieces. It would just literally in like a puff of lead. There's been many times where he shot a crow in the field and he'd hit next to it and just the damn lead exploding because it was at such a critical speed. Just the bullet popping. The fragments would kill a bird. And I really enjoyed that time with him. I really did. The other time that I really enjoyed him was if he was in a good mood, which was very rare. And he was never in a good mood unless he had fucked somebody or screwed somebody out of money or got revenge on people. Then he was happy. But tell you the truth, I think he got away with shooting crows because he was so politically connected back in the day. Him being who he was, hell, political power, boy, it's intoxicating for people. He was so afraid all the time that he had to live with a notch above everybody else. I don't play that game. I don't have much respect for people that do play that game. Nepotism, cronyism, all your isms, you suck, shove them up your ass. All you politically connected pansies. You're just gonna keep walking in front of me, aren't you? Come on. We'll try again. But don't you bite me. But those were some pretty wild times. Riding around. He'd let me shoot a few times, but it was mostly all him. It was the damn Mr. Hophead game. It wasn't Freddie Hophead's game. The only other thing I miss is that shooting range. I worked my ass off on that shooting range. But when he'd let me shoot, God, I was in heaven just being able to sight in the gun. I miss having property so bad. I wish I could buy a little piece of property, just have a little setup. If I could buy some junk land in the mountains, something that's mostly ravine, not good for building, got high mountainsides, something you could, make sure you're just absolutely safe when you shoot. I miss that. I would dare say that once I stopped shooting on that range, I kind of lost my taste for it. I know that's crazy. I think that maybe tells me that maybe that hobby wasn't 100% my idea. Obviously, it was indoctrination or influence by my father. Because the same thing is sometimes I don't want to mess with guns. I don't want to talk about them. I think maybe I taught you guys to be safe with them, and we went shooting a couple times. It was hard for me, taking y'all to shitty spots. We didn't have a proper place to set the gun down, sandbags, chronograph. Oh, I thought I'd died and went to heaven when Dad bought a damn chronograph. Golly, chronograph. Oh, it was so science, bro. It was so science shooting through a chronograph. One time, I bought a bunch of 7.62 by 25 Tokarev ammo. I mean, it was dirt cheap back in the day, back when Russia let go of their surplus. It was damn cheap. What do you want, cat? But he had broom handle Mauser. I had Tokarev, I guess T-33 or whatever. But we actually would remove the bullets, the cartridge, and we used the Tokarev, which was my gun, and we'd shoot the Tokarev through chronograph. And I think that Tokarev bullet was going like 1,600 feet a second. And what we did is we took about 40 rounds, unloaded them, or pulled the bullet puller, and then we would remove enough powder to where we could get it down to the 1,400 feet a second. Because and of course we went real light and then worked up to figure out what the load was. But then we just shoot until we got up to about, I don't know, about 1,400 feet per second or whatever. So the Mauser Broomhound 7.63 by 25, I believe. 7.63 Mauser. But doing that was so cool and so science, and all the exacting measurements, loading cartridges very carefully with a powder dribbler, just dribbling a little bit at a time. That to me was the most fun, It's like Zen archery with explosives, I guess. But anyways, enough about that. I do want to tell you another thing. I'm going to look it up just to make sure I get the. I want you to take a look at a book that I read called. Let's see. It is a very fascinating book, and the book was written by a man named Jay McLeod. He is a sociologist, and of course, he's an author. And he's also an Episcopalian priest, which I thought was pretty fascinating. But he wrote the book called Ain't No Making It. Ain't No Making It. It's slang jargon, of course. AIN apostrophe T, no, N-O, making, M-A-K-I-N, apostrophe, and then it, I-T. But anyways, I got reintroduced to this book because, I'm serving some trouble I got into it at work. It's nothing to worry about. I fucking promise you. Um, it's just been bizarre. Stuck in a library. I've been reading for 3 months. They they've been really kind if I'm in trouble. I don't know what it is, but I mean I know I can't talk about it. We can always talk about it head to head, but I promise you're gonna laugh your ass off when you hear about it. But anyways, so I'm reading through these books, man. I'm just devouring fucking books. Uh, I'm sitting in there, can't have access to a computer. So I'm sitting in the library every day. Other than it being colder than a polar bear's asshole, they got the AC set on 47 or something. I don't know. But I mean, I literally get out of 90-degree weather and, well, in the morning it's 75, 80 degrees now. 70, yeah, something like that. 75, 78 degrees. And I go in there, man, and I carry my big winter jacket with me. And I sit in the library and I've got 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of socks, 2 shirts on, my winter jacket and gloves. And I'm sitting in there, and sometimes my head gets cold, and I think to myself, would you stop it? Come on, honey. Stop it. Don't quit doing that. Thank you. So, Ain't No Making It is I wouldn't call it like full on science. It's humanities science, which if you know anything, like people in the STEM sciences, I believe is what they're called. STEM stands for you make money doing this shit. That's I believe that's how the initials go. But anyways, Ain't No Making It is a sociological study, and it's a longitudinal study, but they're case studies. Okay, they are descriptive statistics, which, as far as STEM concerned, descriptive statistics. Who gives a fuck about? But anyways, it's still a very fascinating read. I really wish you boys would read it. Chug through it. It may be hard. It may be dry at some point. But the reason it interests me is number one, it was done around the same damn year I went to high school. All these kids were being rejects where they was at while I was being a reject where I was at. So it's kind of the same timeline. And this guy studies 2 groups of people, okay? It's fictional. I mean, he doesn't give names. I'm sure it's out. I'm sure people know. It's hard to keep stuff like that quiet, and sometimes that makes me wonder the ethics, but because when you're doing research that is university driven, before you can even start research, you have to go through an ethics board just so they can say, oh, okay, Mr. Hophead, you can study your thing on blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't seem like it would appear to give anybody, uh, it would give anybody nightmares or make their hair fall out or, make them hurt themselves or something. So I think that's a good thing. I think science that is not driven by ethics that is a slippery slope. But when I did my research paper for the Journal of Social Psychology, it had to go through an ethics board. And okay, this is not going to make everybody have nightmares, blah, blah, blah. But this guy follows two groups of people in a unnamed housing project in an unnamed larger city, which I would assume is probably New York City, and I would probably imagine it was some project in that area. But they studied two groups of kids that were pretty tight cliques. There was one group of kids that were, they called themselves the hallway hangers or something like that. But the other group is called, oh, I forget, they were called the brothers or something like that. But, uh, here's the interesting parts of the group. The hallway kids are primarily white kids. And the other group of kids are primarily black kids. There is the first group, the hallway hangers, the white kid. I think they had one black kid, had one mixed race child, a teen, and the other was most exclusively black. I think there might have been a one biracial young man there. But this guy follows this group of kids, and he does it until from 1983. When was the last time? I'm making it book. When did they last meet? I'm just doing a quick check, but they met for the last time at around 2010. That's what I'm getting, anyways. Now, that's pretty daggone amazing. This guy stuck like 1983. I graduated around that time, and the stories were chilling. The one group, both sides, the stories are chilling. And I would recommend it to anybody that wants to understand what a lower class or lower class blue collar people, what the experience was like in America for a teenage kid in 1983, 85, 86, whatever. That was it. I was so amazed. I was simply amazed. It was like, this is like a trip down memory lane, for Christ's sakes. I mean, it's woo, man. It was pretty freaky. But I want you guys to read it. Please read it. It's called Ain't No Making It. Very insightful book. And like I said, just crunch through it. Just crunch through it. I I myself, when I start reading books like that, I usually keep a dictionary because I can't touch computers while I'm at work, whatever. But yeah, I keep a dictionary. I like just look up. Say, boy, I tell you what, there's still words out there. I don't know. You could fill an ocean with words I don't know. But I'm trying to think of some other things that I could. Um, I read a Kurt Vonnegut book that I thought was pretty good. It was pretty wacky, but you can take your pick on Kurt Vonnegut. It's um, I read a trashy romance novel. I thought that was pretty. That's not something. And it was really timid. I mean, really timid. But it was like England in the 1780s. It's got class struggle. It's a freaking murder mystery and shit. I could sit through a murder mystery till I die. I just stopped my subscription to Acorn because I switched to another viewing. But that channel should just be called British people getting murdered or killing each other, and then they figure out who it is. That's what they should call it. I love them things, man. I don't know why. That whole plot, that whole, oh, Martha, you're from the lower, middle, lower, upper class system, and I am but from the lower, 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 middle, lower class system, and we could never be a couple. That, I don't know why the fuck that. I guess I like it because it's honest. I wish people would never stop doing that. At least we'd be honest. It wouldn't be gaslighted into shit. But let's see, what else did I read that was really good? Well, I told you about East of Eden by John Steinbeck, and I was going to do what is it? Of Mice and Men again. It's not a thick read. Oh God, just it reminds me. Noel, you sent me a rap song by that. What was his name? Lil Darky. Lil Darky did a rap song called Jack Daniels. You sent that to me. One of your first texts that you ever sent me was, "Hey, check out this music video." I recently sent you a music video, but he one of the verses in his rap songs about Leonard. Was it? What are the two characters' name? He mentions the two characters in his song, but George and oh God, I've read it a couple times. I can't believe I'm blocking on Lenny. That's it, George and Lenny. It's not as sad as Old Yeller. I'll put it that way. But let's see here. Uh, there's a Hunter S. Thompson book I'm going to hit. I haven't read that one. I forget the name of it. These are weirdo writers from the 60s that are weird. They're weird. Um, what was that Vonnegut book name? I'm going to look it up real quick. Damn, if I ain't itchy as shit. I should probably cut this beard. It's just nice. It's hot as a son of a bitch in the summer. Like, ugh. It's like you're wearing a muffler on. Let's see here. Kurt Vonnegut. Oh, okay. I remember now. It's called Cat's Cradle. Cat's Cradle. that is funny read if you like subtle humor. Yeah, maybe that wouldn't be something of interest. But that damn Kurt Vonnegut, he writes some funny stuff. One thing that he said in the book that just struck a nerve. Basically, he made reference that the saddest words in the English language, or it might have happened. It might have happened. That hit me today. I finished it up this morning and I tore up. I've been reading them two at a time. 3 months. I swapped from one book. Let's go this one. I'm gonna try to do 3 books. Let's see if I can rotate 3 books. Cause that'd be cool, you know. But ain't no making it. Strongly recommend reading that, boys. Just just give it a shot. And like I said, the case studies, they're not real science. Uh, so who the hell? I don't know who did that. All right, whatever. Let's see what else I want to tell you about. Agnes is being a good little girl. I'm going to show you Agnes. Come here, baby. Come say hi to the camera. Here. You want to sit for me? You want to sit like a good girl? I'm going to show you the bestest girl. Okay? Here's the bestest girl right here. Let me get this. Here you go, baby girl. Alright. Boom. Oh, yeah. There's my girly girl right there. Little Miss Agnes. Remember when you'd let her sit on your legs when you'd play on the computer, Noah, before you joined? Yeah. I'm really excited that she learned that. Yeah, she's 60 pounds now. If I told you this, you just delete it if you want to. I had to take her to the vet, so um, I mean, we had tranquilizer. What are you doing with them? Those aren't for you. If she just eat garbage instead of the things I liked, I could let that go. But I'm still working. She stays in the house all day and doesn't chew a, a couch apart. It's like I feel like I'm in heaven. I feel like I've died and gone to heaven because little baby Agnes, she's my little boo boo girl, and she doesn't tear the world up or kill the cats or take the other car and go do a robbery in a convenience store or spray graffiti on walls. She's been a good girl. But, man, I was thinking to myself, I know this might be a little morbid, and I don't know. Don't be shocked, okay? It doesn't, I ain't no bad spot or nothing, but this might be the last dog I ever have. So she's kind of my little princess. She's the last one. I couldn't think of having a dog. I mean, the way she's going to live, I think she'll go to 15 easy. If I could keep her from eating dirt and chewing beer cans up and running around with my knife, I don't know how. No, I know she. That's a joke. Don't run with knives, puppy. But yeah, I think she's gonna be. But 15 years, I'm gonna be freaking. Hold on. Remember, I got my master's degree in the humanities profession. Um, I'll be 70 something. This is my last dog, yo. Damn. And these cats, yeah. I mean, they'll probably be my last cats. Fuck. I don't want to have animals when I'm so old where if I pass away, they damn have to go to a pound. It'd break my heart dying and having something like that. It scares me enough that I could have a heart attack in this house and then my animals won't get fed. Man, it's a weird. I guess I've painted myself in a weird damn corner, man, but I just don't have nobody here. So um, I think going to work's more of a safety factor for me at this point. They'd be like, where's your Fred at? Well, Fred's always on. And believe me, I'm always on time, buddy. Let me tell you. Because I want people to be freaking shocked. Okay? If I ain't, you know, because I don't want my animals to starve, man. That'd fuck me up. I'd have to I'd have to resurrect myself just to make sure I could get them put in the good homes. Yeah. I thought about showing you boys more guns while I'm doing these videos too, but if that's not something y'all are interested in, that's okay. I just thought if I told you about some of them and told you about, you know, and also if I did show them to you, maybe you guys could get some ideas about when I pass away, which ones you really like to have, because I don't want y'all to have no arguments over my stuff. All right, so quit. You guys are brothers, and you need to act like it. I don't care what you become arch villains and destroy the world for all I care. Kill porcupines, but just stay brothers forever. Mm. Boy, it's a hot daggum day. We're set here on about 76 degrees Fahrenheit. I think in Celsius that's somewhere between 0 and 30. I don't know Celsius still, but know what a kilo is. So, yeah, 2.2 pounds. That's about all I got. And you know, it's strange. Another weird thing. They weigh. They have a special weight for cartridges called grains. Grains. It's so freaking. At least in America, if you shoot a 45 automatic, it's a 250 grain bullet. Where the hell did this grain shit come up from? Maybe I'll look that up. I told you I could fill a boat with words I don't know and things I don't know. Fill the ocean. Let's see. Where did the grain measurement come from? This will be interesting. It originates from the actual grains of wheat and barley, reference for weighing items. Merchants in ancient times would use a standardized number of grains taken from the center of the ear, whatever the hell that means, as a reference for weighing goods. This practice led to grain becoming a fundamental unit for various systems. 13th century England, baby. Yeah. Shout out to all the lovely people in England. I miss playing multiplayer games a lot. Talking to new people was so much fun. Oh man. That was the best fun about the game that I used to play a lot. Just meeting the different people. I've always been a social creature, an awkward social creature. Oh, I need to turn this AC down. See if there's any other books. I should have wrote, but why would I write down books that I rode? I wrote a book today. Let's see what other books. I don't know. But like I said, man, give that ain't no making it a read. So, anyways, I'll let this go, and I hope you guys had a great Monday, and I love you boys both very much. I really do. I miss y'all both a whole bunch, and you're gonna know it because I'm gonna say it over and over and over again. You're like, God Almighty, damn! What? Yeah, all this bullshit over and over. You say the same thing. Be skipping through it. All right, boys. I love you both. Bye bye.